You are eating less than ever, moving more than ever, and the belly fat is not moving at all. You watch them every January, pounding treadmills, drenched in sweat, purple in the face. They burn 500 calories in 45 minutes. And 6 weeks later, the midsection looks the same, sometimes worse, as if the fat heard them coming and dug in deeper. That is exactly what happened. The harder they pushed, the tighter their body locked the fat in place. Not because they were lazy, not because they lacked discipline, because every high-intensity session triggered a chemical guard to stand in front of the fat stores and block the exit. That guard has a name: cortisol, the stress hormone. When cortisol is high, visceral fat does not leave. It accumulates. Every sprint, every gasping breath, well, every moment your body believes it is under attack, the lock gets tighter. You do not have a willpower problem. You have a signaling problem. You have been sending your body the wrong message, more danger, and wondering why it refuses to release its emergency reserves. There is a way past the guard, without triggering the alarm. It is not running. It is not HIIT. It is walking. But walking with 5 specific layers, each one designed to shut down a different mechanism, holding your belly fat hostage. The last layer has nothing to do with your legs. But before the layers, you need to understand the one mistake that makes belly fat biologically impossible to lose. It starts with which fuel your body chooses to burn. Your body runs on 2 fuel tanks. The red tank holds sugar, glucose, fast, volatile, easy to rip open in seconds. The yellow tank holds fat, stored lipids, dense, slow burning, efficient. But the tap on this tank turns slowly. It needs time, it needs oxygen, and it needs one critical condition: calm. The body never drains both tanks equally. It picks one. And the way you move decides which one gets opened. When you run hard, your heart rate spikes. Your breathing becomes desperate. Your body reads this as one thing: emergency. It does not matter that you are on a treadmill in an air-conditioned gym. The physiology is ancient. Fast heart rate equals danger. Danger equals need energy now. Fat is too slow. The body rips open the red tank, burns through the sugar. And when the sugar runs out, it does not touch the yellow tank. It sends cortisol to break down your muscle tissue and convert it into more sugar. Your body would rather eat its own muscle than open the fat stores during a perceived emergency. You finish the run, exhausted, starving. And your visceral fat did not lose a single gram. Now walk. Zone 2. Heart rate low. Breathing easy. Nasal. Your body scans the environment. No emergency. No alarm. Oxygen is abundant, so it reaches for the efficient fuel, the slow fuel. It opens the yellow tank and pulls fat directly from the visceral stores around your organs. You burn fewer calories per minute. That is true, but running burns 500 calories of sugar. Walking burns 180 calories of fat. The number is smaller. The target is precise. This is the difference between setting fire to the whole house and removing the one thing that is killing you. Belly fat is not afraid of your suffering. It is afraid of your silence. But silence alone is not enough. Because every time you eat, a flood hits your bloodstream. And if the wrong door is open, that flood goes straight to your gut. Every single meal triggers it. Glucose pours into the blood. And in the next 60 seconds, your body makes a decision that determines whether that glucose becomes energy or belly fat. Normally, insulin shows up like a key. It slides into the lock on your muscle cells. The door opens. Glucose walks in. Muscles get fed. Blood sugar drops. System balanced. But if you carry visceral fat, there is a high chance that lock is rusted. The key goes in. It does not turn. This is insulin resistance. Your pancreas sees the glucose still sitting in the blood. It panics. It makes more keys, more insulin, more, flooding the system just to force the door open. And insulin is not just a key. It is a storage command. When insulin is high, the body receives one instruction: store. The muscle door is jammed, but the fat cell door is wide open. So the glucose that should have fed your muscles flows to your liver, gets repackaged, and lands in your belly as visceral fat. Same meal, same plate, same calories. In a healthy body, that glucose feeds muscle. In a resistant body, it feeds the belly. Not because you ate too much, because the doors are broken. Now, the hack. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes immediately after your largest meal, not before, not 2 hours later. Immediately. Your muscle cells have a back door, a transporter called GLUT4. This door does not need a key. It does not need insulin. It opens with force, physical force. Every time your leg muscles contract, quads, calves, glutes, the contraction pushes GLUT4 to the surface of the cell, The back door swings open, glucose rushes in. Your muscles become a dry sponge dropped into a pool of sugar water. And they vacuum the glucose out of your blood before it ever reaches the liver, before it ever becomes fat. No extra insulin needed, no storage command triggered, and it cascades. Lower glucose spike means lower insulin spike. Lower insulin means the guard steps aside, the yellow tank stays accessible longer. You earn the meal you just ate, and with 15 minutes and 2 legs. Walk the dog, call your mom, wash the dishes, then step outside. Flat ground, easy pace. That is the entire protocol. The meal just hit your bloodstream. Glucose is flooding in. It will go somewhere, into your muscles or into your belly. The destination depends on one decision, whether you stand up. That is layer 1. But right now, 3 numbers are stuck in your head that are sabotaging everything, and none of them are real. 10,000 steps, 30 minutes minimum, high intensity required. You have heard them so many times they feel like science. They are not. 10,000 steps came from a Japanese pedometer marketing campaign in 1965. The device was called Manpoke. 10,000 step meter. A brand name, not a clinical trial. 15 minutes at the right time destroys 10,000 steps at the wrong time. Walking is not intense enough to burn fat. Correct, if your goal is burning calories. Dead wrong if your goal is burning fat. Running burns more calories. Walking burns more fat. You already know which tank you want to empty. You need at least 30 minutes for it to work. GLUT4 activates with muscle contraction, not with a timer. 10 minutes after a meal is enough to open the back door. The sponge does not check your watch. Forget the old numbers. Not how long, not how far, when, and at what speed. And the difference between the right speed and the wrong speed is the difference between emptying the yellow tank and locking it shut. Your body has a built-in speedometer. It has been on your face your entire life. Your nose. The rule is absolute. Breathe only through your nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Mouth stays closed the entire walk. If you feel the desperate urge to open your mouth and gasp, you have crossed the line. You left the fat-burning zone. You entered the sugar-burning zone. Cortisol is rising. The guard is waking up. Slow down, immediately. Slow down until the nose is enough. That is your zone. Think of your nose as a pressure valve on a boiler. When the system runs at the right pressure, the valve releases steam in a steady, quiet hiss. Everything burns clean. But when pressure climbs too high, when you walk too fast, the valve cannot keep up. You want to blow the lid open. That urge to open your mouth is the red light. The boiler is overheating. Pull back the flame. Let the valve do its job. But nasal breathing is not just a speedometer. It changes the chemistry inside your blood. When you breathe through your nose, you retain slightly more carbon dioxide. This sounds dangerous. It is the opposite. Your red blood cells carry oxygen, but they hold on to it. Hemoglobin grips oxygen tightly, unless carbon dioxide is present. CO2 is the release signal. It tells hemoglobin to let go, to drop the oxygen into the cell, into the mitochondria, where fat gets burned. This is the Bohr effect. More CO2 means better oxygen delivery. Better delivery means more efficient fat oxidation. Mouth breathing does the opposite. It dumps CO2 too fast. Hemoglobin never gets the release signal. It holds on to oxygen. Your blood is full of oxygen that your cells cannot use. You are breathing more and getting less. The deeper you gasp, and the less fuel your mitochondria receive. Breathe less. Burn more. The paradox is real. One more layer. Nasal breathing releases nitric oxide in the sinuses. This molecule dilates your blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and sends a direct signal to the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm branch. Your brain receives the message, safe. Cortisol drops. The guard puts down his weapon. You are burning fat and telling your brain you are at peace. Same breath, same step. The first time you try this, you will want to open your mouth within 3 minutes. Normal. It means you are walking too fast. Slow down until it feels embarrassingly easy. That is the speed. That is where fat dies. Your body knows exactly what to burn, the moment you stop screaming at it. 2 layers in, timing and intensity dialed. The system works. For about 3 weeks. Then your body does what evolution designed it to do. It adapts. And the fat loss stalls. Unless you change one variable your muscles are not expecting. Get a backpack. Fill it with 2 liters of water, a couple of books, whatever you have, 5 to 10 pounds. Put it on and walk your normal route. This is rucking. It comes from military training, but we are not training for combat. We are training the metabolism. That small weight does something the body does not expect. It tilts the road, not literally but physiologically. Your flat sidewalk now feels like a 5-degree incline, not steep enough to make you gasp. The nose still works, but steep enough that muscles you forgot about start waking up. Your core tightens to stabilize the load. Your lower back engages. Your glutes fire harder. A lower body activity just became a full body event. Caloric burn jumps 20 to 30%. Heart rate stays in zone 2. The nose stays sufficient. But every muscle fiber is working harder to move the same distance. And deeper. Your bones feel the load. When bones bear weight, they release a hormone called osteocalcin. This is not a minor player. Osteocalcin travels directly to your pancreas and improves insulin secretion. It travels to your fat cells and tells them to release stored energy. Your skeleton is sending a command to your belly fat. No middleman. Mechanical force translated into a hormonal order. The cost is zero. A water bottle you already own. A backpack from your closet. Start at 2 kilograms. Add half a kilogram each week. If the nose still works, the weight is right. If the mouth wants to open, drop a book. Every step under load lays one more brick in a furnace that runs all day, not just during the walk, after. Bigger muscles, denser bones, a big higher resting metabolic rate. The walk ends in 20 minutes. The engine keeps burning while you sit at your desk, while you sleep, while you do nothing at all. You are building a machine that burns fat without being asked. But there is a signal coming from above the neck that can override the entire machine. A signal most people send every single day, without knowing it, 20 inches from their face. Your phone. That is the signal. And it is dismantling your progress every time you pull it out mid-walk. To understand why, you need to understand the real boss behind belly fat. Not insulin, not cortisol. The thing that controls cortisol, the amygdala. Your brain's threat detection center. The alarm system that scans every second of your life for danger. When the amygdala fires, cortisol floods the bloodstream, and visceral fat, the specific fat wrapped around your organs, it is covered in cortisol receptors, more than any other fat in your body. Cortisol does not just prevent it from leaving, it commands more to be stored. Every hour the alarm stays on, more fat gets deposited around your gut. This is why chronically stressed people carry belly fat even when they are thin everywhere else. The arms are lean, the legs are lean, the belly grows. The amygdala never stopped screaming. You can time your walks, breathe through your nose, carry a loaded pack, but if the alarm is still blaring, you are mopping water while the faucet runs. This layer turns off the faucet. When you look at your phone, your eyes narrow. Pupils lock onto a small, bright rectangle. This is foveal vision, tunnel vision, the same visual mode your ancestors used to lock onto a predator. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a phone screen and a threat. The amygdala fires, cortisol rises. You are walking for fat loss while chemically commanding fat storage. Same steps, opposite signal. Put the phone in your pocket. Lift your eyes. Look at the horizon. Let your gaze soften. Let the edges of your vision open. Trees passing on your left, sidewalk moving beneath you, sky widening above. This is panoramic vision. When you move forward through space while your eyes take in the full visual field, objects flow past you in your peripheral vision. Neuroscience calls this optic flow. That pattern sends a direct signal to the amygdala. Shut down. Cortisol recedes. Anxiety falls. Not after an hour of meditation. Within minutes of forward movement with panoramic gaze. One of the strongest non-pharmaceutical interventions for lowering baseline stress ever measured. Let that land. Every walk where your hand holds a phone, you burn fat with your legs and store fat with your eyes. Same 20 minutes. Two opposite outcomes decided by where you point your face. This layer does not use your legs. It uses your eyes. 4 layers, muscles, hormones, bones, brain, all aligned. But there is a 20-minute window every morning where all 4 hit harder, much harder, and it closes the moment you eat. When you wake up, insulin is at its lowest point in 24 hours. Your liver spent the night burning through glycogen to keep your brain alive. The reserves are partially drained. Cortisol is high, but this is not stress cortisol. This is wake-up cortisol, mobilization cortisol, the body's natural way of saying, get up, move, find fuel. For once, the guard is on your side, unlocking energy instead of locking it away. The fat stores are open. Insulin has not clocked in yet. The yellow tank has no protection, no lock, no key needed, no backdoor required, just movement. 20 minutes, before breakfast, outside. Free fatty acids flood into the bloodstream almost immediately. The fat that would take 45 minutes to access after lunch is available in minutes because there is no insulin wall to climb over. The body reaches for the yellow tank first because the red tank is already half empty from the night, but the walk is only half the hack. The other half is light. Morning sunlight enters your eyes and hits a cluster of cells behind the retina. These cells talk directly to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock, the clock that controls when every hormone rises and falls. When this clock gets morning light, it anchors cortisol to the morning where it belongs. High at dawn, low at night. Melatonin follows the inverse. You sleep deeper, and deep sleep is when insulin sensitivity resets. The domino chain is the longest in this video. Morning walk, light hits eyes, master clock resets, cortisol peaks correctly, melatonin releases on time, sleep deepens tonight, insulin sensitivity improves tomorrow, fat burns easier tomorrow morning. The loop feeds itself. Now the reverse. One bad night. Insulin resistance increases the next day. Same meal, higher spike, more storage, more belly fat, more cortisol at night, worse sleep. The spiral tightens downward. 2 spirals, 1 body. The direction is chosen before 7 in the morning. Every morning you walk before eating, you are not burning fat today. You are rewriting the code that determines how easily your body burns fat tomorrow, and the day after, and every day that follows. You are not exercising, you are programming. 5 layers, 1 walk, and your body will never process fat the same way again. 5 layers, 1 action, walking. After your largest meal, stand up, 15 minutes. GLUT4 opens the back door. Glucose floods into muscle instead of liver. The storage command never fires. You cleared the blood. Close your mouth, nose only. CO2 rises just enough. Hemoglobin releases oxygen. Fat oxidation accelerates. The guard stays asleep. You locked in the zone. Put on the backpack. The invisible incline. Bones bear the load. Osteocalcin flows to the pancreas, to the fat cells. A direct order from your skeleton. You built the engine. Lift your eyes. Phone disappears. Optic flow hits the amygdala. The alarm shuts down. The faucet that filled your belly for years begins to close. You cut the signal. Morning. Before breakfast. The yellow tank is unguarded. Light enters the eyes. The master clock resets. The spiral climbs upward. You reprogrammed the loop. Each layer alone is useful. All 5 stacked is a system that does not ask you to suffer. It asks you to align. You are not someone trying to lose weight. You are someone who understands how the machine works. You know which tank to drain, which door to open, what the guard fears. You do not exercise. You issue commands. Your body does not want to hold this fat. It never did. It was responding to danger signals you sent without knowing. The pounding heart, the gasping breath, the phone in your face. Every signal said emergency, and the body did exactly what it was designed to do. It held on. Stop sending the wrong signal. It will let go. Tonight after dinner, stand up. 15 minutes. Close your mouth. Leave the phone behind. Look at the horizon. Tomorrow morning before you eat, step outside. Warm 20 minutes. Sunlight in your eyes. Feet on the ground. Let the biology do the rest. But there is one factor that happens during the 8 hours you sleep every night that can tear down all 5 layers in a single night. It is not food. It is not a hormone. And almost nobody is talking about it. Welcome to Body Sensei, your guide to understanding how your body really works.